was hoping it was this way. It was this way. So I hope when I do this video, it's sideways the way I need it to be. How you guys doing tonight? I'm back. I do my nighttime mini vlogs where I talk and discuss on a variety of topics. And today is May 1st, and in 9 more days, what's going on, family? What's going on? In 8 more days, it'll be the 2-year anniversary of our son Cyrus passing away. And I see my wife today just struggling and trying to just pull it together. And it's always around this time of year where the pain and the grieving just gets a little bit more harder. And sometimes I give her space to grieve. Then there's times where, how you doing? How you doing? I give her space to grieve at times, and there's times where I just be under her and I let her talk and I let her vent and I let her get off whatever may be bothering her, whatever she wants to get off her chest. And usually, around this time of year or close headed into the year, we will go on a trip somewhere just to get out of the house and just for us to all clear our heads. And last year we was in Florida, and the trip didn't go as planned. And this year we had planned the trip to go to Florida, a different place, so we could take Christian and the boys to just get away. And that didn't go as planned. So I'm just hoping as the days lead up to his birthday, which is actually May 9th, that things can go as best as they possibly could. Because it never gets easier. I think about that. I lost my parents, both my parents, back-to-back years, 4 and 5 years ago, respectively. And the way some people deal with grief is different than how others may deal with grief. For me, I think about it, but I try not to dwell on it too tough, because the more I dwell on it, the more it just bothers me. So my mechanism of just dealing with grieving is just like trying to have tunnel vision and go forward, And everybody may not have that same coping mechanism, But I know my wife, being that, first off, she's just, females deal with things different than men. Not saying that they take it hard or they take it any easier, but for me, just watching her, just like I seen today was not a good day. It was not a good day, So I'm just gonna pray extra hard tonight that in these upcoming days, she just has the power and the will and the strength to just continue to go forward. I wouldn't wish that on anybody. It's extremely hard to deal with, extremely difficult to deal with. And like I said, for me, I deal with things like eternal, so I don't really vocalize it. I'm speaking here because this is my platform, and this is my not my platform, but our family's platform. And I just feel like at times it seems like it's unbearable. Like even right now, talking about it, like leading up to it, I was okay. but when I talk about it, just like brings my whole momentum down, brings my energy down, brings my spirit down. And seeing my wife go through that today, which is something I just feel like at night, I do these little mini vlogs on my YouTube channel. Of course, I will still post videos of my family, of Byron, of Blake, of Arvea, of Chris, just of my whole family. But at night, I try to just do, I don't know, just last week I just started creating, or a week and a half ago, I just said, let me just go live and just talk about some things because I've been so spotty on the channel that I said, let me just open the channel back up and get just some traction going, you know? But being that it's 8 days away, he would have been 23 years old. He was such a young man, you know? Such a young man with such a bright future. And that's why I do Mental Health Mondays. I do Mental Health Mondays uh, in honor of him, you know, because he battled and he struggled mentally. And he couldn't overcome that battle. He couldn't overcome that struggle. And in the end, he, he he's no longer here. So that's why on Mondays for the last 2 years, I've been doing Mental Health Mondays just to speak to people, because you never know what somebody's going through. You never know what somebody's feeling. And you never know that your voice or you're just being active and tapping in can change somebody else's life. So that's why I do it. I do it. Oh, thank you, DeAndre Grant. I do it in honor of him, and also in the facts that I just can save one person, because, you know, death is permanent. There's no coming back from it. So keep my family in your prayers. Keep yourself locked in prayer. You know, keep yourself locked in prayer. Just know that every day is a battle. Every day is a struggle. Some of us deal with different struggles. Some of us deal with different battles. But I'm here to let you know that God is an amazing person, and He makes sure that what you're praying for doesn't go unheard. You know, He doesn't. He makes sure what you're praying for goes heard, and it doesn't fall on deaf ears. So that was just something I just wanted to just, you know, briefly touch on, that the pain of losing a child never gets easier. I thought, just like even with my parents, that as time goes on, things seem to get a little bit easier, but in all actuality, being honest, they don't. It's still the same pain, it's still the same grief, it's still the same. Thank you, Alexa. I appreciate that. Just make sure you guys that are watching, and I see 32 people watching, I appreciate that. If you're watching, just make sure your notifications are on. Just make sure every time we post videos or go live that you're actually seeing them. I don't know if people are actually seeing what we're doing or what I'm posting, but just make sure when you get off of this, if you're just, you know, locked in with my family like that you are getting notified for when videos or lives just pop up, that you're getting your notification, that you know, okay, let me go check it out. You know, thank you, Shireen. And I don't think it gets any easier. I used to think that, you know what, in time, because people used to always say that, you know, when the first major losses that I took with my parents, and I thought that, you know, as time goes on, it gets easier, but sometimes it really doesn't. Just the way I try to deal with it myself makes it a little bit easier. But my mom's fifth year death anniversary was on April 22nd, and my brothers called me and they went to the cemetery because they're in New York and I'm here, and I have another brother in Florida, and they were putting flowers down, and that day just bothered me, like, you know, it bothered me. And it's just like, it's that empty peace, that empty void that I feel like I'm always missing. You know, I'm missing my mom. Can't really speak. I can't speak to her. Missing my dad. I can't speak to him. Missing my son. Can't speak to him. And when you have kids, they know what death is, but they don't really know. You know, that I hear them talk about their brother all the time, and I'm like, you know, when it leaves a lot of unanswered questions. It leaves these young kids to just be like, you know, Daddy, will we see him? Will we ever get to talk to him? They don't ask as much, but they still speak about him like as if he's here. Like I said, it's coming up on 2 years. He was 52. I'm sorry, Miss Grant. I'm sorry for that. And I just felt like tonight, I was like, you know what? At first, I wasn't even gonna go live. I was like, I'm probably just gonna chill out, lay down, watch a little bit of TV, and just relax. But I was like, nah, I like coming here at night and just giving y'all a couple minutes, even if it's 10 minutes of my time, just to speak on things that are real. A lot of stuff, a lot of channels that I see that have a lot of big numbers are a lot of messy platforms, you know, where they're talking about entertainment and this person's downfall and stuff that I guess people love it, but I just could have never fixed myself to just to go into that lane. I think that what attracted people to my family was just the transparency. So I figured I'll stay in the transparent lane, and the other vloggers and YouTubers and people like that like to talk about current events, which is nothing wrong with, but I just couldn't fix myself to just talk about somebody else's life like that I don't know, or it's not my style. So I can't do it. Like, you know, I thought about that at times. Maybe, you know what, I should just talk about whatever's the current events, but that's not what drawn people to my family. It was just us being us and showing our world and showing our lives. And that's what people, I mean, if I could, I would dance with all of them. Thank you guys. Just Duchess Duke, I appreciate that. Miss Maria, I appreciate just your love, your kind words. Will we do something? I don't know. I know my wife doesn't really uh like buying cakes and letting balloons in the air. Just like on that day, I really try to give her space. I give her the support and the comfort she needs, but I also just give her space to know that, you know, let her be. And if she needs me for anything, I'm right there. My kids, they know, but they still just play their video games. Chris is a little older, so he can understand it. You know, he's 14, he's gonna be 15. So he can understand what's going on. And I just, of course, I believe in God. Of course, you know that my family's a praying family. I pray over my family every night. You know, I pray over them every night. Without prayer, we wouldn't be anywhere. So I'll continue to pray. But tonight, I'll just slip in a few extra prayers that will just cast over my family and just, you know, keep them positive and keep them on the right track as our oldest son's birthday approaches. You know, I don't want to go into detail too much of some of the things I went through in the beginning of him passing, but I feel like when I talk about things, it gives you a relief, but it also saddens you as well. So it's like speaking about it to me, right? So I said everybody's defense mechanism and everybody's grieving mechanism is different. Some people will probably speak and talk, and that helps them just, you know. Uh, Thank you, Sharon Scott. Some people that helps them, right? For me, kind of being silent and not really dwelling on it and talking on it so much helps me. When I talk about it, it kind of like spins me out of control. So it's like you would think then, well, why are you here? You know, why are you talking about it if it bothers you? It's just that's what's going on in my world. I'm super current. I'm super transparent. This is something I would just do. I wouldn't even have my wife sit right here, even though she's laying down. I wouldn't even sit right here. I let her speak. Like she went live on her Facebook page and she talked about whatever she talked about. I didn't watch it in its entirety, so I don't know word for word or verbatim what she said. But we deal with things individually, and then we come together and we deal with them as a family and as a whole. And it's it's still something that bothers us and hurts us still to this day. Even though you might see us on trips and you might see us laughing and joking as a family, there's still that missing piece. There's still the X factor there. I don't hear my daughter. 1 second. I don't hear her. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But we just deal with things different than we deal with things collectively. And I know this is the second year. And some people deal with grieving people that they lost 5 and 15 and 10 years ago. And just keep my family in prayer. I never thought it would be easy. That's just a word or a cliche that people use. And as time goes by, it gets easier. I think people say that just to soften your grief, you know. And time, and time doesn't change the pain. It doesn't mean because a certain amount of years went by that you feel less or you feel like, and all right, it maybe doesn't hurt as much, but in all actuality, it still does because on birthdays, on Christmases, on holidays, you wish that person was around to celebrate with you, you know, and to enjoy these happy moments with you and your family, like, you know. So, you know, my mom and my dad, God bless, never got a chance to see Arvea, my daughter. They don't know, you know, they know from up high and up above, from heaven, yeah, you guys have a daughter, but they never seen her. They never seen her. They never got a chance to hold her, you know. I'm thankful for the pictures and the videos and things like that that I have that I can hold on to that you know I can watch over and over again. I just found a video recently of me trying to prank my son, and I found it, and I never even I don't remember shooting the video. I don't remember nothing about it. But when I seen it, I just was like, wow, you know. Hector Gonzalez. My son Byron. I don't know if you're saying that trying to be funny or if you're saying that and you're really asking a question, you know. I don't know. I don't know if you're trying to be funny. I think I've seen you before, Hector Gonzalez, and I think, you know, you've always been polite. You've always been, but I'll answer that question for you without being rude or anything like that. My son is a special needs child. He can't walk at the moment. He can't walk at the moment. See, I say at the moment because I don't speak that as a permanent thing on him. So if he can't get up to use the bathroom, if you follow my page and you follow my family, you can look at, I have over hundreds of videos on this YouTube channel. You can always just, if you have some free time, do your due diligence, and you would know that Byron is a special needs child who has brittle bone disease, and he at the moment doesn't walk, so he can't get up to use the bathroom. So of course he wears a pamper, and I don't know. I don't really know. I try not to I don't know when people ask me questions, are they asking it from a sincerity part, or they just like trying to be like, I never know because I can't be, I'm not in somebody's head, so I can't think what they're thinking about, But no, my son, he's my son. He's an amazing young man, Oh, not an amazing young man. He's an amazing kid. He's an amazing kid, And I'll talk about his journey and his story a little more later on another note. I don't want to intertwine the two right now. I'm just, I appreciate that star. He gives me strength. All of them do. He's an amazing child. Oh no, I didn't feel offended. I just wasn't sure where you was going, Hector. So, no, don't take it no type of way. He has brittle bone disease and or osteogenesis imperfecta. So his bones break really easily, And right now, at the moment, he can't walk. I hope one day, I pray at night, that one day he's able to. And I'll leave it in God's hands. I took him to a baseball game the other day. I didn't post any videos on the channel, but I got some amazing videos of him at the baseball game. And I just try to be the best dad I could be for him and for the rest of my kids, and the best husband I could be for my wife, But I like people, like I was saying, people say, as time goes on, things just get better, or the pain, and I'm like, really? Like, really? I have this tattoo on my arm. I don't know if you guys see it. Of his name with the wings right there. And he's with me every day. He's with me every day. I think of him all the time. I think of what he would be doing in this chapter of his life, because he already had his driver's license. He already had his own place. He already had a job. So he was on the right path, but he just battled a lot mentally. He battled a lot mentally. And I pray that anybody that goes through that, I just pray that God just gives you just the ultimate strength, because losing a child isn't easy at all. I mean, I'm learning to deal with it. So if it's a regular day until me and my wife engage in conversation where we talk about certain things, then, I'm all right, just regular. But when we engage in it, then it's like, or I'll tell her, like, babe, like, I'll never not let her express herself and talk about what she wants to talk about. But sometimes when we talk, I'll say to myself, like, damn, like, that just spun me out of control. Like, I didn't, when I think about it mentally, it bothers me, So I try to, just like I said earlier, just have tunnel vision where I just go straight. And on birthdays or when my kids bring it up, or my wife, I'd be wow, what's going on, Willie Lump Lump? But I try to just be positive and to give her the positivity she needs to go, going forward. I know today was a rough day and we're 8 days away, so I'm wondering, as the days go on, I'm gonna pray tonight to just give me the wisdom to know how to be the shoulder to lean on, also be the ear to be the listener, but also just give her the, everything that she needs going forward. Because just as a mom who was pregnant with him and birthed him, it's a different type of love, if you know what I'm trying to say. I'm not saying that her love for him is greater than mine, because we both love him equally, but a mother's love, I believe, is just a little bit different. I believe with all kids they are, just a mother's love is just completely different than a dad's. The dads are rough and tough, but the mom who carried them for 9 months and they came out of their body, is just like, it's a different type of connection that a father just when you're not gonna understand it. Like, it's just different. Like, I love all my kids. I believe just as much as her, but I believe just with her having to carry them and go through what she went through to have them, her love for them is just, it might be a few centimeters, not even inches, centimeters more than mine, you know? I don't know if Hector's still here. I told Hector he was fine. He was just asking a genuine question. So, Hector, if you're still here, I didn't take it as no disrespect. I just sometimes when you're dealing with YouTube is I feel like it's a little bit more different than a lot of these platforms. And thank you, Star. And on Facebook, a lot of people, they like to troll. So your question wasn't a troll question. It was just a sincere question. And sometimes people don't really know. So I'm cool with that. You didn't say anything. I hope you didn't disappear or feel like, oh, you know what, I offended him. Nah, you didn't. Sometimes on Facebook, you got to have thick skin. And not really my Instagram, but just Facebook is a lot. It's a lot of weird energy. You know what I'm saying? It's not necessarily. Thank you, Brenda. I appreciate that. So as these days come up, I don't know what she would want to do. Ledge, I meant to hit you too, Ledge, man. Just a lot going on in the crib. I know you told me Wednesday. So just make sure in the morning, because I know by the time I get off of this, I'm gonna put my daughter to sleep and try to just ease into the night. But tomorrow in the morning, I definitely reach out to you. Just in the morning, I gotta run around. So give me to about 12 o'clock. And around 12, 1 o'clock, I'll hit you up. I stand on that. But it was just a rough day. And as parents, I don't know what she would want to do. I don't know. I can't really say. Because I know, like, when her sister passed away a few years ago, and when her birthday comes, and I'd be like, babe, I'm going to get balloons and a cake and all that. She's like, I don't really want to do that. So I'll ask and throw the idea out there to her just to see. But if she tells me, I don't want to do all of that, then I won't force the issue. I'll just play it by ear, and whatever she tells me she wants to do, we'll do. And I'll go from there. But you guys have been tremendous tonight. Drop a comment in the comment section if you may. Just make sure your notification bells is on. Hit your subscribers button. Don't just pop up randomly. Subscribe to the channel. It's free. I know I'll be there definitely just to let her get it off her chest. I'm always there. I'm always gonna be there for that. That's why I said I'll be there as the shoulder to lean on. I'll be there as the ear, so I could just listen whatever she needs, you know, I'll be there to support whatever she needs. And I mean, I like the crowd tonight. You know, there was a lot of participation, a lot of people just chiming in, and a lot of people watching. I have a lot of, I have an interest in life, man. To say the least, I have an interest in life. Thank you, Tony Davis. Where's Hector? I hope he didn't leave and get offended. Cause I told him, you know, no hard feelings. But I'm gonna put my daughter to sleep. I'll keep you guys updated as the uh yeah, that's all I could do. I appreciate that, Miss Jones. Yeah, she's a phenomenal woman, man. I am blessed. I am. She's amazing. My we're speaking on my oldest son Cyrus, who passed away almost 2 years ago, and May 9th is his birthday. So that's what I'm speaking on. That we're 8 days away, and I could see that my wife was having a tough time today, leading up to his birthday being a little over a week away. So I just like, let me just talk about it. Let me shed some light on what's going on. Like I said, my family is a super transparent family. I don't really know how to do it any other way. I think that's what um it fell on Mother's Day. It fell on Mother's Day before, not this year. I think it goes Mother's Day a couple years from now. I think 2027, because we talked about that. But when he was born on Mother's Day, and it fell on Mother's Day a lot of times. Oh, thanks, Will, man. I appreciate that, man. It just came out of nowhere. You know, right now it's the more popular thing to do. It's a lot more vloggers and stuff like that. But we've been doing this for almost 8 years now. So I remember when there was nobody in our lane. Now it's like everybody's a vlogger now. You know, well, it's the new thing to do. But I remember doing it when people were just like looking at you crazy, like, that's what you do? And I'm like, yeah, that's what I do. I appreciate that, man. What time is it? I don't know what time it is. I know it's gotta be after 11. I know that. Oh, thanks, Star. I appreciate that. 4 years. Wow, Byron's gonna be 9. So I remember vlogging in 2013, 8. So it's 11:01. So I'll stay for a few more minutes in California. I've never been to California. I went to Vegas not too long ago with my wife. We had an amazing time. In Vegas, to me, it felt like it was not much to do, just gamble and eat. So I can't say if I'll be back to Vegas, but I do plan on coming to California at some point. Where at in California, I have no idea. I don't know. I wanna ride through Compton or something, just once. But I'm quite sure by now Byron and Blake are asleep. My wife should be asleep. Only person up is my daughter. She's the only one that she runs the show. Yeah, it's very close to Mother's Day, you know. I don't know. I'll try to do something. My wife is like, you know, maybe out to dinner. My oldest son, Cyrus, he passed away almost 2 years ago. So his birthday is May 9th, and that's just what I'm talking about, what the energy is like in my house right now. That's just what I'm speaking about. That's what I'm speaking about. To watch her struggle today wasn't a good feeling, you know? It wasn't nothing that I just like, like I said, uh, they say time heals all wounds, but I be feeling like that saying isn't really true. That's how I feel, at least. Maybe some people, they feel like, oh, as time goes on, the pain isn't as so severe. But like I said, on these occasions, like a birthday and like Christmases and these events or these holidays, those be the ones that hurt the most. I'm gonna attend to this little girl. Thank you for checking out my nighttime vlog and just what's going on. Thanks for just all the positive energy. Thanks for keeping my family. Keep my family in your prayers. Thank you. Don't forget to hit the notification bell. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. And I'll be back. Thank you.